Hi everyone, Jessie Bear Builds here, and in today's video we are going to be doing a build inspired by Wicked. So I'm going to be building two townhouses. One is going to be inspired by Elphaba and the other is going to be inspired by Glinda. And they're different like colour schemes and vibes and things like that. So let's jump straight in and get started. So these are the shells that I have in Morning Mist Manor at the moment. I kind of chose this lot because I really like the pink and green vibes that we've got going on around here. I've created two identical houses. I'm just going to start by sort of colouring them in the colour schemes that we want. So we'll go for like a black and a green and then a pink and a white sort of style for Glinda's as well. And I think we'll go for the pink roof here and the black roof on the other one there. And then I'm just going to use some of these roof details here and pop those on top of the little, I'm going to have those as open window parts, so I thought they'd look really cool. And then here we'll just use some of the Enchanted by Nature roofing plants that we can put up here. I feel like some nice pink ones will look really good on Glinda's house there, so we'll pop those ones on here. Then I'm going to use from Life and Death. These are actually roof features, but I kind of like the way they look around the outside of the windows here, so I'm going to size them down and just pop them around the foundation, and then do the same on the other side here. We'll just change the colours up to match the vibes on this one, like so. And then for chimneys, I've gone for witchy looking one for Elphaba's, and then we've got like a nice clean one for Glinda's there. And then we'll add some of these dried rose bushes as well onto the roof of Elphaba's entryway. And then we'll just go here, we'll change up the fences and things like that. We'll add some pink stairs, black stairs just there. And then we'll use some columns to hold it up. Now, as you can see, I've sort of built these houses identical. I just feel like it kind of looks cool to like contrast them. The insides will have a similar layout, but they will have like slightly different furniture pieces and things like that. So we'll go for like a nice brick for the exterior of this one, and then I will add the windows to our little bump outs here. There we go. I think I'll just change up the colour on Elphaba's here just so they're not too identical, and I kind of like the swirls and things on this one. It kind of suits the vibes there. And then we'll go for the Enchanted by Nature door here, and then some Love Struck doors on this one. We'll just flip that one over so it fits perfectly. And then for the windows, I'm going to use these green Strangerville windows, a mix of these for Elphaba's house. So we'll pop some on the front, some along the side as well. And then we'll use one of these cute windows here from Cottage Living, and we'll try and use them in the two different colours, again just to sort of bring the two houses together. And we'll decorate the exterior of Elphaba's here with some of these blooming veils from Enchanted by Nature. These are just sort of exterior decorations, and then we'll use some of these as well from Vampires. And then just to sort of make the windows look a bit more detailed, I'm going to add some of these Horse Ranch shutters as well on each side of the windows, and we'll do the same along the bottom as well, just on any window that I can find, because they come in a lovely green colour, so I feel like that works perfectly. And then I'm just going to add some terrain paint. So we're going to go for like a really bright grass for the underneath of Glinda's house here. That one's got pink flowers and things in it, so I feel like that suits her vibe to a T. And then on the other side here, we're just going to use the dry grass terrain paint. Just paint that over there like so. And then I'm just going to work on the front entries of the houses here and do some terrain paint again. We'll use the stone ones. We'll go for a pink one for Glinda and like a darker one here for Elphaba. And then I'm going to incorporate some of these rocks here. These are from Snowy Escape, and I feel like the colours just suit the rocks on the floor as well. So we're going to use these just to separate the pathway a little bit so it's not just flat and it's got a bit of dimension. And maybe incorporate some of these rocks as well, just some of the spiky ones. And then we'll add some of these vampire fences here just at the front, just to separate the two. We'll go for a white one here and a black one on the other side. And then I'm just going to size down some of these sparkly trees here, and then we'll just use some of these base game trees, some base game bushes and things like that out the front of Elphaba's. I'm just trying to use like the darker colours with a bit more of like a green and a black colour scheme for this one. Maybe add a little bit of the pink in there as well, because pink goes really well with green. And we'll pop some of these vampire plants in as well. I'm just going to pop some underneath these bushes because I feel like that kind of looks quite cool, and it's almost like its own plant then as well, like so. And then we'll just add one of these funky base game trees out the front here. I don't use these very often, but I feel like this definitely kind of suits the Oz vibe. So it's like a bit different, a bit magical. And then just to make it so it's not too scary, we'll pop some of these lovely butterflies out the front here from the garden kit. And then I'm going to use one of these gargoyles, and I'm actually going to put it above the entryway of Elphaba's house there because it reminds me of one of the flying monkeys. So I feel like that looks really cool there, and it definitely adds to the theme. And then we will will just light up the front here as well, so it's not too dark when it's in night mode. So we'll pop some of these outside the door here. And I think that I might actually move this to a bigger lot. There we go. And I feel like this looks much better in normal lighting. So I've kept it in Life and Death, but I've moved it to a different lot. And as you can see here, I finished Glinda's house. So we've got a little pond outside. This is so pink. There's loads of pink flowers, and yeah, it looks very contrasting to what we've got over here. And as you can see, I've also included a scarecrow in Elphaba's build there also. So this is our floor plan upstairs. We have got the bedrooms here. We've got the upstairs hallway and some bathrooms there. And then these will be our living areas. And then we've got dining, kitchen and entryways on these ones just here. So I think we'll start with Glinda's kitchen. So we'll move inside here. I'm going to use some of the Life and Death cabinets around the bottom here. Leave room for a fridge. I think we'll go for Life and Death, keep it consistent. And then again, just some of the Life and Death cabinets along the top here. And I think I want to include a double oven here. I feel like that definitely gives the illusion of grandeur in some way. So we'll pop that there and then change up the colors here to make sure everything matches. And then I'm just going to slot a bin along the end here. Again, make sure it's pink. It's got to be pink. And then I'm just going to use the really cute Enchanted by Nature backsplashes here. We'll use the pink ones, but I think I'm actually going to just put them all the way along so it fills the back of the entire kitchen area here. But I don't like that there is a little gap there, so I am just going to get one of the pillars here from the living room and just use those on the ends just to separate them off a little bit. There we go. And then just to clutter it up a bit, we'll give her the pink sweetie machine. We'll pop a hutch over here with just some random decor items on top. Anything that I could think that looked kind of grand and pink that is getting thrown in the build. We'll pop some of these bows on the window. I'm just going to size them up. I feel like those definitely suit the Glinda vibes. And then we'll just pop a little plant up here to fill that space, and another one over here as well. And then moving on to the dining area over here, we definitely need a pink fluffy rug. I feel like that definitely is the right vibe for this one. And then I'm just going to pop some magical items over here. Obviously our girls are witches, so we need to include all of those sort of items in the build as well. And I'm actually going to create my own cabinet here. So I've used the dresser of divination underneath, and then I've just sort of raised up the other cabinet there with all the magic items on them, and I'm just going to move this around using the 9 key just to slot everything in place where I want it. Then it's just something a little bit different, and I kind of like the height that it's given that unit there as well. And then we will pop one of these plants in here from Get to Work, I think this is from. Sorry, no, this is Businesses and Hobbies. And we'll just change the colour of that one again to the pink one, and we'll add some more pink and white flowers in here as well. I feel like Glinda would have a big circle dining table because she has many friends, and she'll obviously have everybody round for parties and things like that all the time, I feel like. So we'll go for that one there, and then we'll just add a couple of these little bookcases under the windows here just to fill that space. A couple of cushions here. You can slot cushions on there to begin with, but I wanted to add some more, so I'm just going to use the 9 key and plop those into place. I just wanted to change the oven here. I feel like the pink coffee machine looked a lot better there, so we'll just pop that in and add a little plant. So we've got our little coffee station as well as the single oven. And then moving on to the entryway here for Glinda, we are going to use the new sleek Grange mudroom kit. Sorry, I forgot a centerpiece in the dining room, so I'm just going to pop this pink plant on there, and then carry on with the Grange mudroom kit here in the entryway. We'll just pop a mirror at the bottom of the stairs here. We'll pop a little shelf, and then a little shoe rack just here as you enter. We'll pop in some pink heels. She will definitely have lots and lots of pink heels and boots and things like that, so we'll pop those there. And then I'm just going to size up this one. I don't know why, I feel like it just reminds me of the big bubble that she comes in on, so we'll just pop one of those there by the door, and then just decorate this little nook here. We'll give the moonlight from werewolves and one of these pink flora candles as well. And then I think I like this tray here that's got the little mat underneath it, so I'm just going to swap these over, and then I'll size down one of these there just to again, clutter it up a little bit better. And I think that's it for our entryway as well. And then moving on to the living room, I feel like I want to try something a bit different here. So I'm going to use these bookshelves from Enchanted by Nature, and I'm just going to include the TV into it. So it's almost like its own TV unit. So we'll pop one of these base game ones in here just because it's the wooden texture as well. And then we'll slot a TV into there. We will clutter it up with some pink clutter items. We use this pink couch here, some of these pink chairs as well. And obviously Glinda's going to be entertaining all the time, so we need loads of seating and lots of places for people to sit. We'll decorate this here with some trays with some flowers and some more candles and things like that, just like so. And then here we have the rug for the living room. So I've gone for a cottage living one here because it suits the like tree and things like that we've got going on. And then at the front here by the open windows, I think this is where we are going to add Glinda's cauldron. And I just feel like it looks really grand. It really suits the little area over there, and the pink one of course is perfect. So we're not going to do much else there in that place because you need quite a bit of space to use the cauldron. So we'll just leave that there. Add a little side table here. And I think that is it for our living room for Glinda. We will move on over here and start with Elphaba's kitchen. So this is the layout here. We'll go for the Realm of Magic set here. We'll just pop these around the outside and another one on the end just here. And I think we'll keep consistent with the theme and just carry on with the Realm of Magic appliances there as well. And then I'm just going to remove the wall under the stairs and pop the cauldron in here. So that will be Elphaba's cauldron. We'll use the Spill the Tea Leaf dresser here. We'll pop that there and then just decorate it with some magical items. We will just clutter up the kitchen as well here. We'll just add some candles at the front here. And then just to make it so it's not so dark and scary, we're just going to add some fairy lights here just to make it a bit more pretty. And then to jazz up the cauldron a little bit, I found these green crystals from Get to Work, and I feel like these will just make a really cool almost like base for the cauldron. And again, the green and the black contrast just looks really cool and definitely goes with the theme. And then here we'll just add another plant, and then I'm just going to move on to the dining area here. So we'll pop some magical artwork on the wall there, and then this can be like her plans to save Oz and what she's going to do to make people realize that the wizard is not who he seems. So we'll pop one of those there, and then I'm just going to jump forward and just finish off the rest of the dining room here. So this is what we've got for the dining room. We've got a lot of clutter here and it's all very green. We've got some music over here obviously because it is a musical after all, and then I've created a reading area in the corner here. We've got loads of bookshelves, loads of magical clutter. We've got books all over the place, and I also really like the shelf. I feel like the triangle kind of reminded me of the witch's hat as well because I couldn't find one in the game. And then this is the entryway. We've just kind of gone similar, got loads of clutter there. I've just put some of her boots underneath as well. And then this is leading in to our living area, which I have also completed. We have got the green bookshelf here. Again, I've incorporated the tree and I feel like that looks really cool. It's just kind of like sticking over the edge of that one. And then yeah, we've just got a TV area. We've got some pictures on the walls. As you can see, I've also included a broom there as well. Okay, so I had a bit of an issue when I was exporting this video. So I had about an extra 15 minutes of footage, and unfortunately it only actually exported like half of the video. So up to this point onwards, I don't actually have any footage for the rest of this build. So I am just going to show you the rest of what I've built upstairs and everything like that. But continuing on from where we left off, I will show you everything else. So here we have, in the place of Glinda's cauldron, we've got a writing desk here for Elphaba and just some more magical items and things like that. And this is the downstairs finished for Elphaba's house. So we're going to go upstairs, and obviously again I don't have the footage for me building this, which is a bit of a shame, but I can still show you the finished result. So up here, this is Elphaba's hallway. So you come up the stairs here and we've got the green furniture and things like that. She's got a little reading nook here, and then we've got these matching pictures on the wall, which I actually found on the gallery, and I thought that they were perfect for this build. And this like leaf up here I thought kind of looked like Elphaba's hat, so we'll put that one on the wall there as well. And then just going over here, we've got a green bathroom for Elphaba, again in the same sort of style. I really like the way that this turned out. I feel like it definitely suits the vibes and things like that. Sorry, I keep pressing all the wrong buttons here. And then in here we have got Elphaba's bedroom, and again I was really proud of this, and building it was so much fun. We have got more of a reading area just over here with loads more books and things like that. And then over here we have got another desk where she can sit and do her planning and all those sort of things. And then over here we've just got sort of a shoe rack with the antique tomes on the floor, and just over here we've got the bed area as well. But that is the finished upstairs for Elphaba's house. And then we will move over here, and this is Glinda's upstairs, so we'll start in the hallway again. This is a very pink, of polar opposite vibes to what we've got next door, but again the same layout and things like that. So here we've got the picture that I found on the gallery, and then I've just included here a sort of just a side table, and we've got a mirror up there. And then in here we have got the bathroom, which is just super suited to the vibes of Glinda's character. And then over here we have got the bedroom. So this one's a lot more bright and colourful. It's a bit more grand. It definitely suits the popular vibes that Glinda's got going on. So we've got her dressing table here with some posters and some makeup and jewellery and things like that. And then I've put another wand stand up here, and then I think this is actually a book of spells as well. Yeah, Wands of Desire, and I thought that that was a good book for her. And then we've included a microphone here so she can practice singing. And this is the little dressing area here that I've created. I thought that was really cute. Just sort of section it off from the room a little bit. And then I'll just show you what it looks like with the walls up there. We've just got a little shoe rack and some bags and things like that. But that is the finished build for the houses inspired by Elphaba and Glinda. And I'm sorry that the second half of this video isn't a build process, but again, unfortunately I lost the footage and I just didn't want to miss out the opportunity to post this one. And that concludes the build inspired by Elphaba and Glinda from Wicked. This is Frankie. He wanted to come and say hello for the end of this video. But yeah, if you enjoyed this one, please do give it a like. Subscribe to Jessie Bear Builds. It would mean a lot to me as a new YouTuber, and it would also mean a lot to Frankie here as well. I have been Jessie Bear Builds, and I will see you in the next one.